Joining us now on Morning Joe, New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Mayor Adams, thanks for being with us this morning. You're not just the mayor, you're also a former police officer. I'm so sorry we mourn with you the loss of Officer Islam, an immigrant who came to this country from Bangladesh, created a life for his family, and was killed yesterday. What more can you tell us about the investigation this morning, sir?
Well, clearly, when you think about Officer Islam and the role he played as a member of the New York City Police Department, it is part of the increase we see in various immigrant groups who are joining the force, and it has become one of the most diverse police agencies in the country. We know that the suspect involved walked into the building carrying an automatic weapon in his right hand. And he entered the building, and immediately to the right was Officer Islam, and he took his life and also struck an additional security personnel who was at the door as well. This was just a horrific condition. We have a total, as has been reported, we have a total of 6 people who were shot, one being the suspect who shot himself. And we know that we have one individual who was injured, and they were seriously injured. They seem to be in serious condition at this time, and we have several other civilians who lost their life, including Officer Islam.
Mr. Mayor, what more do we know this morning about motive, if anything? So far, we know that police found that note. The alleged shooter mentioned CTE. It's a bit of a leap, frankly. He didn't play in the NFL, didn't even play college football. He was a high school football player in California, that he would then target the NFL offices and kill at random people in the lobby. Do we know anything else about why he did this?
No more than the note. We're still investigating. This is relatively new. There's no more than just a note at this time. And as you indicated, he talked about CTE. He was not an NFL player. We have reason to believe that he was focused on the NFL agency that was located in the building. And we're going to continue to investigate with our federal partners to ensure that we can find a reason and identify any other weapons. We found an additional weapon in the car that was parked outside at this time. And just really hats off to the men and women of the New York City Police Department and our partners for immediately going in the building, going floor by floor, doing a search, looking for any incendiary devices to conduct a very thorough investigation.
Mr. Mayor, there are many elements of this tragedy yesterday that have a ripple effect that people are going to be feeling for a long, long time. For me, one of the most critical aspects of it is the fact that Didar al-Islam, the police officer killed yesterday, left 2 little boys, and his wife is pregnant with their 3rd child, and he's an immigrant from Bangladesh. The New York City Police Department is filled with immigrant police officers. Can you tell us what's the composition of the police department? How many different languages are spoken by members of the New York Police Department for translation, things like that? How rich it is in terms of its composition, representing many races and many religions. Could you speak to that?
Yes, and there's a personal note for me in this story, but just specifically dealing with our agency has what we call fraternal organizations from various ethnic and immigrant groups from the continent of Africa to South and Central America. Although they all wear the blue uniforms and members of the police department, the department allows them to celebrate their rich diversity and is extremely rich and diverse at this time. The exact numbers I do not have, but we constantly attend the various ethnic and the functions of these various groups, and they bring a very important opportunity. They are almost like ambassadors for their countries of origin. And when it comes down to the Muslim officers, after September 11th, they went through a horrific experience because of the terrorist act that had nothing to do with them, but it was attached to our Muslim officers. And so I actively assisted them in creating an organization that is still in place right now, and a fraternal organization. My attorney they used my attorney to put the organization in place. And we recruited heavily for our Muslim officers and Muslim immigrant group to join the police department. And so this is the first Bangladeshi officer that we lost in the line of duty. And just seeing the families and friends who were there had a devastating impact for the entire NYPD family. But the Bangladeshi community really felt this loss and pain.
Mayor Adams, good morning. This shooting yesterday, of course, comes a few months after the targeted killing of a healthcare executive, also on a Midtown Manhattan street. There's only so much a city government, a police force can do in a bustling big city where people, of course, need to come and go as they please. But are there messages that you or the police department are delivering to some of the corporations that call New York City home? There are so many there in Manhattan, about additional safeguards that perhaps should be in place in the wake of these high-profile incidents?
Yes, and that's a good question, because this gun came from outside our city. The perpetrator drove to New York, and so yes, we moving these illegal guns off our streets. Over almost close to 23,000 illegal guns off our streets. But when you have individuals driving into local municipalities from other areas with firearms, it makes it increasingly difficult. But our partners, such as the Building 345, Park Avenue, Rudin Management, they implemented so many safeguards, and even to the point that they could have stopped the elevator from moving in any direction or bringing it back to the floor. But the security guard that was in charge of that operation was killed at the desk as he attempted to flee the suspect. He was killed at the desk, and that took away that operation. But on the floor itself, there were safe rooms, such as the bathrooms, where you had bulletproof doors and you were able to lock in the staffers inside. And so there were many things that Rudin Management put in place to make their tenants safe, and there were some great opportunities to do so, and one individual was able to, or several individuals able to lock themselves in the safe rooms, and we believe it played a major role in not having a greater loss of life.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams, our sympathies again to you and the New York City Police Department on the death of Officer Islam, and to all the families impacted here. Thanks for being with us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.